That was not what I was going for. That was I'm not sure what I just did. I'm going to have to watch this and figure out what the crap that was. Anyway, my name is Zach. Welcome to Zack Wing Music, and welcome to the second episode of Jazz for the Rest of Us, where we're going to be taking jazz concepts and using them in other kinds of music. Last time, I talked about extended chords. This week, we're going to talk. I said this week. I don't even make these once a week. In this video, we are going to be talking about altered chords. What is an altered chord? Well, once again, music terminology is really slippery and it's not very consistent, so I'm just going to tell you what I am referring to when I say an altered chord. So when I say altered chord, I'm referring to a chord that you would not get just from taking notes from a scale, a major or a minor scale. You have to take those notes that you get from the minor scale and alter some of them in order to get what I would call an altered chord. So I suppose based on that definition, any old thing, any old chord could be an altered chord, anything that doesn't come out of a scale. So I could just go like, and that will be an altered chord because you can't get that out of a scale, right? So I'm going to kind of explain a little bit more about what I am talking about. But in order for you guys to really understand that, I'm going to teach you something else first. So let's talk about the tritone. What is the tritone? The tritone is an interval of 6 half steps. So you start at a note and you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I started at E and I worked my way up to B flat. E, B flat, E, B flat. It doesn't sound very good, does it? People kind of identify the tritone as kind of like the ugly thing. But I'm going to dispel that myth because the tritone can be beautiful, can be a wonderful thing. Why does this matter? Well, as an interval, it's just good to know. But it's really important in jazz music because you use it to create really cool chords. So let's take a basic extended dominant chord and let's do something cool to it. I don't think you use it on major chords or minor chords. I think you really just use it on dominant chords. That might not be true. I don't know. Anywho, let's say that we are in the key of D major. And we're going to play our dominant chord, which is a 5 chord. We're going to play the dominant 7th chord, so that's going to be an A. So our notes are going to be A, C sharp, D, and G. Right? That's the naturally occurring 5 chord within the D major scale, the chord that you would get out of the D major scale if you just took the notes within the scale. So say we're in the key of D, D major, and we get to our 5 chord. Here I'm just playing the root, the 7, and the 3rd. I'm not playing the 5th. For reasons that will become apparent momentarily. I'm also going to play a 13 just for fun. So the 13 would be an F sharp. So I'm playing what is this? An A dominant 13 or an A7 13 or whatever you want to call it. So we have A, G, C sharp, F sharp. And this is a very common shape if you can see the shape that I'm using. Sometimes it's done like this. Anywho, what if we took that root note, that A, and we took it out and replaced it with a note that is one tritone above it. So you start at A, and you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That takes you to E flat. So these other notes, the 7, the 3, and what is this? The 13 are going to stay the same. But instead of an A as the root note, I'm going to use an E flat as the root note of all those, and the other notes are going to stay the same. And that gives you this. Interesting, right? We started with this. We did a tritone substitution, and we got this. Fun stuff. What chord do we have here? We have an E flat, we have a G, we have, what is this? A D flat and an F sharp or a G flat, depending on how you want to think about it. So what kind of chord is this? You could refer to this as an E flat sharp 9 or an E flat 7 sharp 9 or something like that. Sharp 9, what the frick am I talking about? Let's go. If we were to just play a basic, normal E flat dominant 7th chord, an E flat major minor 7th chord, that would give you an E flat, G, B flat, and D flat. Hey guys, it's Zach, and I'm editing this video right now, and it just occurred to me that I did not explain this very clearly. So this is super bootleg. I'm doing this on my phone, but I'm going to try to explain it a little better right now. By the way, this is where I teach English to Chinese children. That's why I have random pink and whatever this is, letters, stuff all over the place. Anyway, so we had arrived at a normal E flat dominant 7 chord. That's going to be E flat, G. We're not going to play the B flat because that's the 5. And then the D flat. So E flat, G, D flat. And then the question is now, what if we wanted the 9? Well, for our purposes right now, I want you to think about the 9 as an interval. So just as think about it as the interval that is an octave above a major second. So if you have E flat, you know that if you go up a major second, that's 2 half steps from E flat, E, F, you get F. So E flat, E, F, from E flat to F is a major second. So you can think about the 9 being the next F on top of that one. So E flat, E, F, from E flat to F is a major second. From E flat all the freaking way up to this F up here, you can think about that as a 9. You can think about it like that. And in our chord, we had E flat, G, D flat, and F sharp. Not F, but F sharp. So normally the 9 would be, what would the 9 be? The 9 would be F if we're going up from E flat. And because we have F sharp, we call this a sharp 9 because we have the note that is above the normal 9. Thus we have an E flat sharp 9 or an E flat dominant sharp 9 or however you want to say it. The way I explained it in the video was really freaking confusing. So I wanted to clear that up. So enjoy the rest of the video. I'm going to do another example right now, and I'm literally going to do everything I just did with another example because that was a lot of information really quickly. So let's say we're chilling with a normal extended dominant chord. Let's say that we're doing a C. We're in the key of F, and we get to our 5 chord, and we're doing a C9. Right here I have a 1, a 3, a 7, and a 9. I have a C, an E, a B flat, and a D. And that chord just pops right out of the F major scale. There's nothing special about that. That is an extended chord. It naturally occurs within the scale. But what if I take that C, and instead of playing a C, I keep the other notes. I keep the 3, I keep the 7, I keep the 9, all where it is. But instead of playing that C, I play the note that is a tritone above that C. So I go C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I move up 6 half steps. That gives me an F sharp. So I'm going to keep the 3, the 7, and the 9. But I'm going to, instead of playing the C, I'm going to play an F sharp. So now we have F sharp, E, B flat, D. Or F sharp, E, A sharp, D. So what chord is this? Well, it's going to be some kind of F sharp because that's the root note. If it was just a normal F sharp dominant chord, your notes would be what? F sharp, A sharp, C sharp, and E. So that is a normal F sharp dominant chord. F sharp, A sharp, C sharp, E. But what did we have? We had F sharp, A sharp, D, E. Or you could think about it as F sharp, A sharp, C double sharp, E. However you want to think about it. We had the note that is a half step above the 5. So we can call that an F sharp, sharp 5. Or an F sharp, 7 sharp 5. F sharp altered sharp 5. F sharp 7. It doesn't matter what you call it. We have the note that is above the naturally occurring 5 chord. So we call that a sharp 5. So when you take a C9 chord and you do a tritone substitution, you get an F sharp, sharp 5 chord. Welcome to jazz theory. It's freaking awesome. So what I want you guys to do is in a second, you're going to pause the video. And after you pause the video, you're going to take all of those really cool extended dominant chords that you found by watching the last video, because I know you're all faithful viewers and you all watched the last video. And I want you to tritone sub the root note in every freaking last one of them and figure out what the resulting chord is. And when you do so, you're going to find a lot of chords. And I'm going to tell you what those chords are in a second, but I really want you to find them on your own. I really do. I really want you to pause the video and figure this crap out on your own, because that's the best way to learn. I can just tell it to you, but if you find it on your own, you'll remember it, you'll understand it better. So take all those really cool extended dominant chords, tritone sub the roots out, and try to figure out what you get. Go. Pause the video. Do it. Pause it. Do it. So, I am completely confident that you just paused the video and you figured out all of those cool chords, and now you're back. For the most part, you're going to have sharp 5s and flat 5s, and you're going to have sharp 9s and flat 9s. That's pretty much the extent of everything. If you take a dominant 13 chord with a 1, a 3, a 7, and a 13, and you tritone sub the root, you're going to get a sharp 9. If you take just a normal dominant chord and you tritone sub the root, you're going to get a flat 9. If you take a 9 chord and you tritone sub the root, you get a sharp 5 chord. If you take a normal dominant chord without a 5 and you keep the root in it, so let's say you do it like this, you have root, 3rd, 7, root, and you tritone sub the root on the bottom, keeping the root on the top, you get a flat 5. So you're going to have a lot of flat 5, sharp 5, flat 9, sharp 9. That's going to be the majority of the chords that you have. Fun fact, the 3rd and the 7th don't change. The 3rd of the first chord will be the 7th of the second chord. The 7th of the first chord will be the 3rd of the second chord. Example, you're in the key of E, you have E, G sharp, D. That's your 1, your 3, and your 7. Those are the most important notes of the chord. E, G sharp, D. If you take the root and tritone sub it out, you have B flat, A flat, aka G sharp, D. A flat, also known as G sharp, was the 3 of the E, now it's the 7 of the B flat. D was the 7 of the E, now it's the 3 of the B flat. Fun stuff. So where can you use this in music that isn't jazz music? Well, you can use it all over the freaking place. So for example, let's say you are jamming on like a D and you're going to a G. And they're both dominants, right? And they're extended dominants. You could tritone sub this D, and that would give you an A flat or a G sharp. Keep the other notes, and that would give you a really cool transition chord to get you to G, because you're going from G sharp to G or A flat to G, which is a half step drop. So instead of this, you get this, which I think I played something like that in the intro to this video. And then when you're going from G back to D, you could tritone sub the G, that would give you a C sharp, and then you would go from C sharp to D, that would be a half step jump up rather than down. So instead of sounding like this, which I suppose is kind of cool, it would sound like this. Like that, which sounds much cooler if you ask me. Say you're doing like an R&B thing and you're in C sharp minor, and you want to go from G sharp to F sharp. You could use one of these as a transition chord once again. You could go C sharp minor, G sharp minor. That was a G flat 5, F sharp minor. That was an extended chord, not really an altered chord. And you can use these not as transition chords, but just as normal chords. So like Jimi Hendrix has that song Purple Haze. That first chord is a sharp 9. I actually don't remember the song very well. So you can use these chords to give you a very tense, very uneasy sound, if that's what you're going for. So, altered chords, there you have it. That's it, we're done. That's all we're going to talk about today. If you liked the video, I would really appreciate it if you liked or commented or subscribed or whatever else. You can follow me on Instagram, you can follow me on Facebook. And if you have any comments, if you have any questions, write those down, send them to me in a private message. I will do my best to answer them all. And right now, I don't know if anyone actually watches this video, so I should be able to get back to you ASAP. So if you have a question, let me know. If you have any ideas of things that you would like me to cover, let me know, and I will get that done as soon as possible. So as always, I have a lot of cool stuff on the way. Until then, until next time, keep jamming.